you with me, Martin Daubney, on GB News. Now, I absolutely love this next story because in a tit-for-tat fishing war, French authorities first seized the Lady T, and that's an Eastbourne-based fishing vessel. And next, they find its skipper, Philip Edwards, €30,000 to release his boat. Now, the Lady T, operating legally under UK jurisdiction, was intercepted by a French patrol ship near the Somme Bay. Now, the incident has sparked massive outrage among British fishermen and is renewing calls for the government to stand firm against French overreach in national waters. Well, I'm delighted to say I'm now joining with Charlotte Edwards, who's the husband. Husband Philip is the skipper of the Lady T and is out fishing right now. Charlotte, welcome to the show. I've got to say, here at GB News, we are hugely supportive and appreciative of British fishermen and fisherwomen. Do a fantastic job. So if you're nervous about the interview, please don't be. I want to ask you how on earth this happened. I mean, there's been a lot of talk, for example, that the Lady T didn't have the correct paperwork, it was fishing illegally, and the French decided to pounce. What's the reality?
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
The paperwork just slipped through. It was an admin error. The other two boats had the permits and unfortunately he didn't at the time. He wasn't in as far in as they said he was. He was about 800 metres in their water. He wasn't near the 12 mile at all.
So he was 800 metres into French territorial waters. He was intercepted by the Pluvier. That's a French Navy ship. No, by the way, the sort of French Navy ships that just seem to give an escort to illegal dinghies coming into British waters, suddenly pouncing into action. The only boat they've managed to stop seems to be the Lady T. And what happened next? I understand that your fella was hoisted to France and plonked more or less in clink for 5 days.
Yep, he got arrested to the boat, so he wasn't allowed to leave the boat until, well, the Friday morning. They then took him in for about 4.5 hours questioning with an interpreter, told he could be facing a year in prison for it, and have to wait. And then he got a fine of the 30,000 to release the boat and be able to bring the boat home. And that's not the end of it yet.
€30,000 to release a boat. And as I understand it, correct me if I'm wrong, your husband had the correct paperwork. He applied for that permit before he left, before this fishing trip, but it didn't, if you like, land in the inbox of the French authorities. It got lost in the ether.
Yep.
And am I correct in assuming that the paperwork did turn up when he was there?
Yeah, because he went back out 2 days later with all the correct paperwork.
So what's basically happened here is there's been some kind of admin error. Your husband had the correct paperwork. He got nicked by the French. He's been fined by the French. 30,000 euros, that's a pretty package. And he had the correct paperwork all along. Charlotte Edwards, I put it to you.
His way, it just hadn't turned up at the time, and they thought that they had got it. So when he asked for them to send it over, it wasn't there, and then got it through. And, still facing the fine.
I put it to you that he's owed a refund. You should be getting a refund for this.
No, they're still wanting to continue the fine, because the fine, they said, could be up to 63,000 altogether in total. And the 30 was to be able to, like, a deposit as such, to release the boat to be able to come home.
Well, I tell you what, Charlotte Edwards, I'm going to put a plea out now to any politicians watching the show. I know they watch this show in Kemi Badenoch's office. I know that they watch it in Chris Philp's office. I know that the Reform Party watch this show. Get onto the French authorities and let's get a refund for Philip Edwards. He had the correct paperwork, 30 grand, a fisherman. And I'm guessing, Charlotte Edwards, like most British fishermen and fisherwomen now, that there's hardly any money in this, and that's a crippling fine.
No, there's not. It's from what it used to be years ago. It's just so hard for them to make money for now, with all the bits that they can and can't do. And with the French being allowed in our waters for 12 years and then being given part of their quota as well, it's just getting harder and harder.
And in terms of your husband, he's been fishing, I believe, since he was a boy, since he was 14. This is his life.
Yep. Yeah, that's all he's ever done.
So it's all he's ever done. He's going out there trying to earn a graft for you, for himself, for your family, for the country. Yep. One of the last remaining boats, probably working out of Eastbourne. The French have thrown the book at him. How does it make you feel about, is anybody coming to bat for you from the British government to stick up to the French?
Haven't heard anything yet. Nothing. He had no support when he was out there. Nothing from anyone.
Isn't that astonishing how in the same week that 12 years of extra fishing licences were given away to the French, your husband's basically getting, nicked and getting fined, and no one from the government has gone into bat for him?
No. They're all like in different papers and things. They were saying, oh, it should never have happened. I'm so glad he's been released. I'm so glad he's coming home. But no one was there. Nobody helped or anything. He was there for like 4 or 5 days and there was nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what, I believe there's a GoFundMe floating around, right? It's on screen now. You can go, It's a Lady T GoFundMe now, I honestly and truly believe you got a good case to get a refund here, but of course that won't help you in the short term. So if a few quid goes into this fundraiser now, at least it will help you put some bread and butter on the table. You're probably very in debt now as a consequence of this French fine. What's your final message to anybody from the British government watching this today?
Well, there was no one there to help. They were quick enough on anything else, but not to help him.
And what were your message to the French, by the way? The French don't seem to intercept any of the dinghies coming over to Britain, but they've managed to intercept a British fishing vessel.
They said that they didn't get to his boat quick enough because there were so many migrant boats leaving that they got in their way. Well, just says it all really, doesn't it?
What an absolute French farce. Utterly. Utter French farce. And I tell you what, I sincerely hope, and I'm going to make sure we try and get a result for you. We're going to try and get some politicians involved to try and get you your money back. It's the very least you deserve. Charlotte Edwards, thank you very much for joining today. And send a message to your wonderful fella out there fishing away while all this drama is going on here back on British soil. Spa is being invaded by an infestation of flies. And let's join our very own Lord of the Flies, GB News reporter Jack Carson. Jack, you get all the best gigs, mate. You're either up to your neck in bin bags or peacock poo, and now flies. What on earth is going on in Leamington Spa?
Well, residents put it down to a plastic recycling plant that's not too far away from where we stood now, and it's residents on this street behind me and in the surrounding area that are having to deal with this problem, scared to open their windows because of the flies coming in. We're speaking to residents today, the inventive methods that they're coming up with to try and mitigate the problem of just the amount of flies, them not wanting to spend time outdoors, even scared to let their children go and play outside as well. But it's not even like they'd want to open the windows anyway, seemingly, because of the smell in the air as well that residents say this plant is also causing them. Now, the Environment Agency have made 4 visits to this site here near where I am right now since the 1st of April, and they say they can't substantiate any significant odour incidents. And Warwick District Council also saying that they acknowledge the concerns, but their officers have yet to confirm the existence of a statutory nuisance coming from the site. But speaking to residents today, we've heard just what they're having to deal with. Take a listen.
The flies are everywhere. It's the smell as well, especially like first thing in the morning. The smell is horrendous.
Yeah, oh, when it's warm, it's terrible. I mean, I've got a lovely back garden. I love my garden. I like to sit outside, have a cup of coffee. But I can't because I'm constantly going like this.
You can't have a place where you live and the flies are awful. It's just not right. It needs to be sorted. It's gone on long enough. The first meeting they had, public meeting, probably a couple of hundred people turned up, and there was not one person who turned up from the local council. They were too busy. It's unacceptable.
And one resident telling me that he's lived here all his life, he wanted to retire here. He's moved 7 miles now out of Leamington because he said it was taking such a mental and physical toll on him and his family's life. Now, Amcor, who own the site, they say they take the well-being of their employees and the local community very seriously. They say they're engaging with the Environment Agency, who are conducting regular inspections, and they also say they have bolstered their water and air management plant and have also employed an expert biologist to say they will have rigorous control methods implemented.
OK, Jack Carson, keep going, mate. This story definitely has wings.